Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Well, after a day off yesterday, the Tigers are back at it tonight. They are recharged and set for baseball. It's a cloudy, overcast evening here in downtown Detroit. Rain has moved through, and we've got game one featuring the Tigers and the Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson, glad to have you with us. Game one, Tigers and Reds. Big day today in baseball. Trading deadline is come and gone, and Gibby Leonis Martin no longer a Tiger.
Well, minimal action actually today for the Tigers. You always hope to do as much as you can. They did pick up Willie Castro for Leonis Martin, and the Tigers continue to add depth down in their minor leagues. A good shortstop, the number 8 prospect, but he's going to visit Sergio Alcantara down there too. It's going to be interesting. We'll ask Alavila about that today. But overall, the Tigers continue to add, and we had some things to decide before the season is over.
All right, now Alavila will join us in the booth in the third inning, but as we turn our attention to the game tonight, Matt Boyd is on the mound, and Matthew in his last 2 starts been pretty good.
He has been pretty good. You know, look at Matt Boyd, just like all pitchers have to do. They have to learn pitches. Started with the fastball. They started experimenting with the slider. They go to the curveball. They go to the changeup. Is it going to be a split? But Matt Boyd is taken on to the slider very well. And then the next step is, can you throw it to both sides? You're seeing here earlier in the year, last year and this year, just having a hard time controlling the sliders. Then he starts to get a little better control of it. He can go glove side, he can go arm side. He's also able to throw that pitch for a strike, which gives you much more swings and misses on the balls that you're throwing for chase. You could look at the usage this year, 3 times what it was last year, 33% usage versus 18. So Matt Boyd has the tools. He's starting to figure things out. He's going to have a good matchup against Homer Bailey tonight.
And what about James McCann? He is starting to work really well with Matthew Boyd. It's been a pretty good combination.
It really has. I mean, you look at the ERA, 2.79. The rest of the staff, almost 3 times that. Only giving up 2 home runs in 42 innings pitched. You know, these guys are very, very good friends, and they just really seem to hook up together. And there have been a couple games when they did not go with the information and catch James McCann, but tonight they are going with him, and it'll give him a better chance to win.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with John Keating. Boy, these Reds, they've got a 3-headed monster. Votto, Suarez, Jeanette. They'll be a tall task tonight. Tigers, Reds, next.
Well, the Reds have some thump from the likes of Joey Votto and Eugenio Suarez, the former Tiger, and DTE Know Your Own Power mentions that these two teams combined for 7 home runs in the 2 games they played last month in Cincinnati. The Reds won both of those games. That was the start of an 11-game skid for the Tigers and sort of set the tone for Detroit's rebuild. Back here at the Call Sam studio, John Keating. Game time coming up on a Tuesday night downtown. It is the last evening of July. Can I get a hallelujah? The Tigers are completely fine with that. They're 9-13 this month. Cincinnati, meanwhile, is 13-10 this month. They're 45-43 since an absolute dreadful start to their season. Game time here at the ballpark is coming up, and Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you tonight by Kroger. Visit Kroger.com for great deals, digital coupons, and more. By Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer. First pitch right around the corner.
At Comerica Park on a 70-degree night, showers in the area, but dry right now here at the ballpark. Matt Boyd is on the hill for the Tigers. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Matt Boyd finally got a win on his last start after going 6 times. The Tigers did not win, but 5-9 on the season. And we talked about the slider in the open. And rain could become a factor here tonight. Should it shut down an inning for more than 45 minutes, Matt Boyd, what are the Tigers going to do with their pitching?
Starting lineup for the Reds, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. They've got Peraza, Irvin, and Votto in the top 3 spots. Suarez, Jeanette, and Barnett in the middle, or Barnhart rather, in the middle. And then you've got Herrera, Dixon, and Hamilton rounding it out for Jim Riggleman and the Reds. And here we go, the first pitch is in there for a strike from lefty Matthew Boyd. Jose Peraza is the leadoff man, the shortstop, batting .290 on the year. He's got a little bit of occasional power with 5 homers. He'll pop this one up left side of the infield for Iglesias, and that's how we start this one tonight.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. New guy in left field, Michael Gerber. It really is first start of many, hopefully. Jacoby Jones in center, Nicholas Castellanos in right. Candy and Hicks on the corners with Iglesias and Goodrum up the middle. James McCann, of course, is catching Matt Boyd.
Well, just as we say, it's a dry night. The rain has returned to Comerica Park, and here come the umbrellas. It looks skibby like this might be the case most of the evening.
Yeah, be prepared to get wet. They don't usually start it if they think they're going to have to put the tarp on right away. Just like I was referencing just a second ago, if you got to sit down and it goes past 45 minutes, Matt Boyd might have to come out of the game and you burned him. So obviously the umpires or anybody doesn't want to do that, but they're on their way here tonight on time.
Phillip Ervin is the batter, the left fielder for the Reds, batting .274. Reds making some moves at the deadline. Adam Duvall was traded away. That's fouled straight back, 2-2.
Look at the umpires tonight. Yep. Sean Barber, Larry Vanover, he's a vet. David Rackley and Hunter Windelstead, the son of Harry Windelstead, who was umpired many years before. See him try to get hit right there?
And he almost accomplished that.
Put that elbow out there. Would have been interesting to see if that was a rule to hit batsmen.
Here's the 3-2. Popped up a mile high left side of the infield. Candelario coming to the grass, waiting. And it finally falls in his glove.
Boy, that was tough one. Tough sky right now. Raindrops coming in your eyeballs. He makes the catch.
2 gone now. Here is Joey Votto having another Joey Votto type year. He's been getting on base to the tune of a .452 on base percentage this year. 52 driven in and batting .289. Fouled away 0-1.
Has he popped out yet this year?
I don't believe so. This guy usually hits a line drive somewhere. If he doesn't walk, he's hitting a line drive.
Yeah, I think he's 33% of the balls in play are line drives. I believe that's tops. Yeah, I don't think he's popped up on the infield yet this year. But we'll look it up.
Votto hit a grand slam off Boyd earlier this year in Cincinnati. Big swing there, 1-2.
Time now for StatCast, powered by AWS. You can see where Votto likes to hit the ball. They have the shift. It's the full Ted Williams shift. 3 on the right, 3 on the pull side.
2-2 now on Votto.
I think that Votto's going to try and hit one against the shift here if he can. It looked like he was set up to do it there.
Oh, he tried to hold up, went around, struck him out. That'll end the inning. A 1-2-3 first for Matthew Boyd. The Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. No Martine, he was traded today. So Jones, your new leadoff man, then Castellanos and Goodrum. Vmart, Candelario and Hicks in the middle. McCann, Iglesias, and Mike Gerber called up today, batting ninth. And they are facing Homer Bailey, who will go to work now against Jacoby. Cloudy, overcast night here in the Motor City. The Tigers Reds in the first of two as Jones looks at a strike 0-1. It's been a tough year offensively for Jacoby, batting .208 with 8 home runs. So you scope out the numbers on Mr. Bailey, presented by MGM Grand Detroit. Chop foul, and Homer's a guy that really is again trying to come back from yet another injury.
Yeah, he had shoulder surgery 3 or 4 years ago. Has not thrown the ball consistently since then. Still has a decent fastball. Does not throw the curve anymore. Has a slider. No change. Throws the split. 14th start of the season tonight.
So Jones assuming the leadoff slot, at least for this one. The Tigers now will have a different looking lineup with Leonis Martin traded away to the Indians. Jacoby now should get some opportunities. Victor Reyes, Mike Gerber called up. Again, pulled foul.
You can see the Reds sticking to the script of just about every team that comes in. Like to throw sinkers, good sinkers, sliders, curveballs, and then when they go to that fastball late, when they get ahead, always up top of the zone. Jacoby doing a good job of following it off. Hopefully gets a mistake and puts it into play.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes.
Let's take a look at the Reds starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Philip Irvin in left, Billy Hamilton in center with Brandon Dixon in right, Eugenio Suarez at third, Jose Peraza at short, Dilso Herrera at second base, Joey Votto at first, Homer Bailey's chucking to Tucker Barnhart behind the plate.
So here is Castellanos, who had been batting 30, is bumped up to second in the lineup tonight.
Son, that's so.
And a ball low from Bailey. Well, Castellanos trying to get it going again. He was 1 for 11 in that Cleveland series. Average now at .292 on the year.
See, Bailey's got some sink on that ball. A lot of foul balls into the ground. You can see it tailing down and in. Did it to Jones. Now to Nick.
Homer is a big guy.
Oh yeah.
6'4", 223. LaGrange, Texas, his hometown. High fly ball, right center field. Dixon coming in, and there are 2 gone. Well, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Here is Nico Goodrum.
Ball didn't go far at all. Looks like the raindrops maybe make this air a little heavy.
Yeah, I thought that ball by Nick was hit a lot farther than it eventually went. Nico is batting third tonight, playing second base. .240 batting average.
First 10 pitches by Homer Bailey, 2 of them balls, the rest strikes. That's what you like to see out of your pitcher when he comes out. Matt Boyd had a 12 pitch first inning, so he's in good shape as well.
One and two. Well, Goodrum 9 home runs this year. He's having a good month of July, which is coming to an end tonight. 284 this month, but he was over 300 most of the month of July. Almost hit him inside. 2-2.
That ball was right at him. Look at it's when you're hitting, you can feel it hitting your ribs right here. Look at it's in there, but it tails back.
2-2 on Nico. Rolled up the middle and played perfectly. Peraza has it. Nico is out of there, and it's a 1-2-3 first for Homer Bailey.
And the reason is he has been called up because Leonis Martin is no longer a Tiger. Welcome back to Comerica Park. What does Detroit get in Willie Castro in exchange for Leonis Martin, who is now a Cleveland Indian? I talked with Al Avila earlier today, and he will join Mario and Gibby shortly during our broadcast. But Avila told me he wasn't even sure he was going to make this deal, but it did come to fruition late. He's happy with it. They get a switch hitter who the Tigers coveted a year ago at the deadline. But Mario, he reports to Erie and joins a really crowded middle infield prospect crowd of Alcantara, Lugo, guys like that, and of course Paredes. They think that he's got a chance at making it to AAA next year, but the 21-year-old batting .245, they love his upside offensively and defensively.
Yeah, they sure do, Shep, and you might as well fatten up the minor leagues as much as you can. You can never really have too many prospects, so welcome Mr. Castro certainly to the organization. Meanwhile, Suarez hooks one down the line for a leadoff double here for the Reds.
Hook something off speed.
We'll bring up Scooter Jeanette, the DH tonight for Cincinnati. Well, the Tigers certainly will miss Leonis Martin. He played a fabulous center field, gave the Tigers a lot of energy early on this season.
Great arm.
Little chopper to the right side, that'll advance the runner. Nico throws him out.
There you see Will Castro acquired by the Tigers. There's the average, and Leonis on his way to Cleveland. You know, you have mixed emotions. You become close to your teammates, but you're excited to go to a playoff contending team while the Tigers are trying to build. And the Reds playing some pretty good ball right there. Suarez has the leadoff double. Scooter Jeanette gets him over, and it's up to Tucker Barnhart to get him in.
Infield in a few steps, and Boyd throws a strike in the inside corner.
I've said this a couple times. If you can get that fastball in tight, a lot of ground balls come off the bat. So obviously, you don't want to miss your spot.
Here's the 0-1. High fly ball center field. Jones measuring it. Runner will tag. Jacoby will fire it home. He lets it go. There's a play at the plate, and he is out at home plate. Oh, what a throw by Jones. Well, Leonis Martin had a great arm. He's no longer here, but Jacoby is, and he guns out a runner at home plate.
on the glove side, the throwing side, and the quick release, and James McCann decoys nothing, blocks the plate. Big play. That's what the Tigers, that's the type of baseball they want to play consistently. Nobody else on base. You can throw it all the way in the air. You got a guy on first, you got to try and keep it down through the cutoff man.
Absolutely textbook for Jacoby Jones, and a nice job by McCann applying the tag. So Victor Martinez will get it going here in the bottom of the second. Martinez, Candelario, and Hicks facing Homer Bailey. Tigers now third in the league with 24 assists this year from their outfielders. They have really done the job.
Most outfield assists, yeah, they're good. You know, I'm going to say when they first put that rule in a no blocking the plate, remember they did that? That had to be around 2014.
Sliced toward left center field and hit well, and that ball is going to be run down nicely by Irvin. Well, that looks like a gap shot two-bagger.
They misplayed it a little bit. Ball took off. Victor had some backspin on it. Right up the middle, and he almost overran it, but good recovery.
Victor hitting with a little bit more thump lately.
Yeah, he's getting more backspin, more carry.
One away for Candelario. Jamer looks at a strike. 14 homers this year for Candelario, who has got a bit of a different look now. He's wearing the socks up top toward the knees, pant legs up. A little bit outside, 1-1. This time last year, Candelario joined the Tigers at the deadline from the Chicago Cubs. Popped up third base side for Suarez, and there are two gone. Manage your dream team in franchise mode, plus get weekly stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone. A throw by Jones was a video game type throw.
Wish I could have thrown a ball like that one time.
Here's John Hicks. Yeah, but you made up for maybe a lack of the most powerful throwing arm by other means.
By running it halfway where I had to throw it?
No, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, okay.
I meant getting to the ball quickly and getting it back in quickly.
That's what I said. I ran it. Parker used to tell me you could run it in there, you know.
I could just see that.
That's a bad arm.
1-1 on Hicks. 267 for Hicks. Big John with 9 homers this year. That is a career high. He'll shoot one in the air to center on a line. Hamilton will make the play. Another 1-2-3 inning for Homer Bailey.
here in game one in this series. Well, today was the trading deadline. It has come and gone. The Tigers made one deal with Leonis Martin leaving for Cleveland, and the Tigers general manager Al Avila joins us now. And Al, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. I want to talk first of all about this market. What was it like? We'll get to the prospect you picked up, but how would you characterize the trade market this season?
Well, I think there was a lot of guys available this year. Probably the most I've seen ever in my career. It was flooded with players of all kinds: outfielders, infielders, pitchers, relievers, and so obviously it was a buyer's market for sure.
Tell us one thing that I always found interesting when I was the manager was how you guys mobilize all your resources. You start your war room, so to say. It starts here first. You go on the road, you have it, and then it ended in Cooperstown this year. Tell us about the mechanics of doing that.
Well, you know, actually, we usually start a couple of weeks before the deadline. In this case, we were in Kansas City, so we set up in Kansas City at the hotel, and we basically followed the team. But we set up our war room at the hotel, and we worked there basically all day. If we have anything going, we usually just stay right there. If not, then we usually just go to the ballpark, watch the game, and then come back to the hotel and see if there's anything finishing up at night, and then we go at it again. So this year we started there, came back home, went to Cooperstown obviously for the induction. This year we were able to rent a house there right next to all the events, so we basically worked all day. You know, we had the internet there, we had cell phone service. Several other general managers were there with their group of guys too. I know Chris Antonetti was there with Cleveland. I know AJ Preller was there with San Diego, and so usually you know, the GMs and there's a group of baseball operations people that will follow their inductees over there too. So we went there, had some, worked out there, and then we came back home. So
you're evaluating players on other teams and your own players, trying to anticipate what they might ask for, what their needs are.
Yeah. What we end up doing is, you know, obviously throughout the weeks, you receive phone calls of guys that or teams that are interested in some of your guys. You know, you make some phone calls also yourself. So basically, we come down to the conclusion: okay, these are the teams that have interest in these players. So then we just basically write down names of players that we like from that team, and we rank them. And so that's how we start. We just come down player by player, and then if there's more than one team interested in one of our players, then we compare what they have, you know, that team has, to the other team, and we try obviously to gear towards the team that has the player or the players that we like the most. It's easier to deal with a team that has a deep farm system, because if you go to the first 2 or 3 guys that you like and they say no, you can go to the 4th and 5th guy, and you might like their 4th and 5th guy a lot better than the number 1 player on another team. So usually a good deep system is easier to deal with than a system that, let's say, they don't have any.
Well, tell us about Willie Castro, the young man you received, a Double-A All-Star this year, a shortstop. What can you tell us about him?
Well, we're very excited with Castro, because we actually tried to acquire him last year, and we were not able to. This year, you know, they moved him up to Double-A. He's not having quite as good a year this year in Double-A that he did last year in A-ball, but through our reports and information, right now we feel that he's got a really good opportunity to be a good, solid, everyday shortstop. We feel he's going to be a good offensive player. He's going to be able to hit with some power. He runs very well also. So we feel we have a prospect that can be a complete player at the major league level for sure.
So are you? He's going to Double-A, Al, with Alcantara?
Yeah, he'll be there in Double-A. You know, there we have Paredes, who's 19 years old, Alcantara, or should I say Castro's 20 and Alcantara's 21. All 3 guys are amongst the youngest guys in that league, which is really a positive. And our plan is to play all of them at between 2nd, short, and 3rd, and rotate them around so they can get experience at all 3 positions.
Billy Hamilton, the batter here, with 2 outs. And he'll sky this one in the air to left field. It'll be playable for Gerber. And Al, it's been a busy day for you. I know August is going to be interesting as well. Thanks for taking some time with us.
Thank you, Mario. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Al.
Al Avila's
Cam's doing good.
And his thoughts?
Just struck out.
Talking about Cam Gibson here. Still no score. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Did you see what little Jose Ramirez did again last night?
Hit a couple.
He did. 2 dingers. He's got, what, 32 now?
Tied for JD, or is he ahead of him?
No, he's tied with JD Martinez, who's about 3 times his size physically.
That's reminds you of a small golfer who drives 400 yards, I guess, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't make it to 200.
Minnesota ended up winning that game last night, but still Ramirez having a great year for them. James McCann getting things started here in the Tiger third, no score. McCann, Iglesias, and Gerber bottom 3 for Ron Gardenhire tonight. Homer Bailey 6 up, 6 down so far, 1 strikeout. Here's the 1-1. Well, if you're wondering, Homer is not his given name. David is his given name, David Bailey, but Homer was his great-grandfather's name, and so they kind of stuck that nickname on him early on in his life, and he's, well, Homer. The 1-2. Little chopper to third base. Suarez waits on the hop.
Now it's time for the Bernstein advantage. Jose Iglesias has the Bernstein advantage. Interleague this season, Iggy 13 for 40, 325 clip, a couple extra base hits and 3 RBI. So let's hope he keeps raking against the Reds here today, tonight I should say, and tomorrow. 266, 5 for 8 versus the Reds.
There was a lot of talk that Iglesias' name might surface in a trade today heading up to the deadline. I know Mike Fiers' name came up as well, and there were some reports that the Tigers had a deal with the Oakland Athletics for the A's, but that didn't come to fruition. Here's the 0-1 to Iglesias.
It's really interesting, the dynamics. Could have asked Al a bunch of questions about how this whole process takes place and the posturing and how certain deals are real, certain are perceived to be real but aren't really real. There's a lot of different techniques used to make deals happen. But as he spoke, they do a lot of evaluating.
That ball belted to left field, going to the track, going to the wall, and caught. Irvin settled under it, and there are 2 gone.
You thought you had 6 points, didn't you?
You know what? I almost jumped out of my seat. Because Iglesias is my guy tonight, and Ryan picked the stick.
Well, I'm pulling for you.
I thought he had it.
Anybody to get a six pointer. I hope a couple guys are on base though.
Here's Mike Gerber. Gerber called up today with Martin being shipped to Cleveland. So here are the numbers on Gerber at AAA. 13 homers this year. He'll stroke one in the air to center field, but Hamilton is camped under it. It'll be another 1-2-3 inning for Homer Bailey, who has retired 9 straight. Tigers baseball presented by Belt Tire. Reds, Gibby, started very, very poorly. They changed managers. Jim Riggleman now is the new skipper, and since Riggleman took over, they played some pretty good ball.
Well, best in the National League. Different styles. Riggleman, I think one of the big things he did was change the way the pitchers were used. You'll see him going to the hook. They could call him Captain Hook, but Riggs got some experience, doesn't he? Had been in several places around the league as a coach and a manager.
Popped up left side of the infield off the bat of Peraza. It's going to be Iglesias to haul it in. One gone. Now Riggleman with the Padres, the Cubs, Nationals, now the Reds. So he's got a plethora of experience.
He likes to, like I said, he likes to. The starting pitchers, they get around 4 innings or so. He's willing to take them out. He's got a couple of guys. One guy I used to have, David Hernandez, who can throw virtually every day, multiple innings. You just wonder how long the bullpen can hang on when they get used that much. But so far it's worked. I mean, he got to believe he wants the job beyond this year. So he's going to go for it.
Well, I would say his numbers so far as the managers certainly point that way. 2 over 500. It is Phillip Ervin here now with 1 out. He'll drive one to left field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. Extra bases for Ervin. He will cruise into second with a double. Second double of the game for the Reds.
Must have been something off speed again. He gets out front, slider down and in. Doesn't get it in. It's not down and out over the middle of the plate, and he hooks it down to the right field. Mike Berger has had a couple of these today. Just got to take your time, pick it up. Make sure you make an accurate throw.
Well, here comes the beefy part of the lineup for the Reds now. Joey Votto stands in. Number 3 hitter. Oh, the count up and in.
Good technique, Joey Votto, the way he turned away from that pitch. You don't want to duck into it. You turn away. If you're going to get hit, you want to get hit in the back or that shoulder. Protect your face. That pretty face you got, Mario. Would want to get clipped.
It would actually probably help.
Facial improvement.
Here's the 1-0. Fly ball hit well to right field. Moving back, Castellanos still going back. He turns off the wall. Rounding third and holding there. And into second with a double is Votto, who's staring down at third, wondering why Ervin didn't score, but he thought that ball might be caught.
Yeah, he had to wait. Only 1 out. It's a tough one for the outfielder as well. Votto looks like he's sitting on the ball down, and he gets it, and Nick can't get it. He plays it well at the wall. You can throw it here to the cutoff man, or do you throw it to second base, and he goes for second base? Probably could have scored, but Ervin, but he did not. He was held up by Billy Hatcher. He got second, third, 1 out.
Votto is probably used to that ball going out of the ballpark in Cincinnati, but not here. Now here is Suarez. There's a ball inside to Eugenio, who doubled in the second. Leading the National League with 80 RBIs coming into play tonight. In there, a strike called, 1-1. Chevrolet's most dependable player. Highest hard hit rate. You've got Suarez leading over guys like Carpenter, Tigers' Nick Castellanos.
Be careful here and put him on and try and get the double play.
Now it's 1-2.
Jeanette has 9 double plays, who's the DH right behind him. It's lefty on lefty, isn't it?
It is on deck, yep. Jeanette. They've so far elected to pitch to Suarez. Got got him. Strike three. Suarez didn't like it, but he is punched out of there. Big strikeout for Boyd. Eugenio is having a fit now with Sean Barber.
Look how he starts this out over the plate. Remember, we were talking in the open about how it was always way inside, and he gives up on it, to be quite frank with you. The ball looked down where he caught it, but where did it cross the front of that plate? He doesn't like the call. I wouldn't either, but hang with him, right?
Well, here is Scooter Gennett with 2 outs.
Finish it off here.
Pulled foul.
Let's take a look. Matthew Boyd, right-handed opponent versus the slider. Look at last year, he was at 293. 221 this year. Great improvement. Slug and the on base improved as well. Way better.
Now he's up 0-2 on Gennett.
Yeah, that swings pretty good off lefties. You see him being very aggressive against Matt.
319 overall for Scooter Gennett coming into this game tonight.
You got to think you're looking for a slider if you're Gennett. I like the fastball away, because you look for the slider, it gets by you too quick and you take it. Good try. It's on the plate. You're a hitter. Sometimes you just got to hope you can foul it off. Many times it gets by you too quickly.
Lefties really do not neutralize Gennett. He's hitting .301 this year versus left-hand pitching. Now Boyd with the 1-2. 2-2 on Gennett.
Good block right here by James. Got his body over in front of it quickly. Look, he anticipates. He's over there quick. Got to get that glove down. That 5-hole snugged up. And he does.
Irvin at third, Votto at second with 2 outs. That'll go foul.
Firewood.
And he snapped the bat in half. So Gennett will stop to the on deck circle, doctor it up a bit. Boyd had a runner thrown out at the plate earlier in the game by the center fielder Jones, and now he's trying to pitch around 2 doubles here in the 4th. Now Boyd ready with the 2-2. He'll step off.
Look at all the pitches that have been mainly away. Anything that he's thrown him inside, Gennett has pulled foul. He looks like he's well off the plate. Do you see that? Well this way.
Did he go?
Oh.
Not.
Gennett knew it, and Hunter is the only guy that missed it. Look at him.
Got to see a side swing on this. Here it is.
That's a pretty good motion there. He thought he was done.
So it's full now, 3-2.
I say get it in the kitchen. Pound him in.
And he lost him. Ball 4. That will load the bases. He got ahead of Gennett 0-2 and ends up walking him. First walk of the game now for Boyd, and Tucker Barnhart will step in.
Tucker hitting .207, runners in scoring position. 333 off lefties.
In there, a strike called, 0-1. Barnhart has hit safely in his last 4 straight games. Gold Glove catcher for the Reds. Here's the 20th pitch of this inning now for Boyd. And now he's ahead 0-2.
Yep, came in at 31 pitches. Actually, Homer Bailey and Matt Boyd both after the end of last inning at 31 pitches, but Boyd being extended here a bit. For a play like that, check swing has a big effect as the game moves on. He's throwing probably 12 pitches since that point.
Inside 1-2. The Reds came into this game 4th in the National League in runs scored and 2nd in on-base percentage. Even though they got off to such a bad start this year, they, as we mentioned, have been playing much better for Jim Riggleman, but offensively they are a very capable squad.
Let's see if he tries that backdoor slider again, starting it off the plate. Outside, breaking over.
Instead, it dives low and in, and the count now is 2-2.
And because of that extended inning, it's giving the Reds hitters an extended preview of what they may face. They got Suarez on that last pitch.
Ground ball to third, and it's fielded there by Candelario. Tags the bag, and Price is averted. They leave him loaded.
Matt Boyd starts with 3 fastballs, then another, and then he goes to a slider down and in, down and in. It looks like Matt's trying to double his pitches up. That's a big out as the Candyman picks it up. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Out of the mess, no runs.
The Reds had 2 doubles in that inning, but could not score. Here is Jones now as Homer Bailey goes back to work. 9 up, 9 down against the big Reds right-hander. Jones struck out in the first.
Yeah, they wanted that pitch right there.
Here's the 1-0.
The umpire, Sean Barber. For left-handed hitters, most important thing is he doesn't call the down and in pitch often. For the righties, he calls a lot of low pitches, but not the.
Here is the 1-800 call Sam call to the game. Jacoby Jones having a pretty good year defensively.
Right there, good technique, lets her fly. This is in the first inning. That's all you got.
Popped up. Middle of the infield, the second baseman Herrera to the grass. One gone. And that is 10 in a row retired now by Bailey. He'll bring up Castellanos. Nicholas flying to right field his first time up.
He is so due.
1 for 11 in the Cleveland series. He'll shoot this one in the air to left. Irvin is there to make the catch. 2 gone. And Bailey right now making this look too easy.
35 pitches through 3 2/3. Doing a lot of change of speeds, keeping the Tiger hitters off balance.
11 straight set down to start this one for Bailey. Here's Nico Goodrum. Nico looks at ball 1. Stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game as presented by McDonald's. We need some base runners before that can happen.
Yeah, let's get Nico on and have him steal the bag, and Victor can hit him in.
High fly ball right field, tagged pretty good. Back is Dixon, still going back. He looks up and it's gone. Nico Goodrum, the first Tigers hit of the night, leaves the ballpark.
Boy, he put a good swing on it, ran the bases in about 12 seconds. But that ball really took off to the deep part of right center field, and the Tigers are up 1-0.
That is home run number 10 for Goodrum this year. After 11 straight had been retired to start the game, the Tigers have the lead.
Got some sock, doesn't he?
He
Ball
sure
jumped
does.
off his bat.
It went 407 feet. And Martinez looks at a strike. Goodrum's 34th RBI of the year as well. He picked one of the deeper parts of this ballpark to go deep.
Now I'm hearing 96 miles per hour off the bat. Usually the magic number is 100, right? So we must have a higher launch angle. I'm just going to guess, and we're going to dig it out here for you.
Yeah, 96 does not seem high enough. The 0-1.
96 with some backspin on it, and the proper launch angle does though. 242 for V-Mart so far this season. 6 home runs, 35 RBI. Swinging the bat well as of late.
V-Mart hit a ball in his last at bat that carried out to the gap in left center, but it was finally run down.
They're saying
Bailey tries to hit the outside corner.
saying 31 degrees on it. That's a high angle. So we got what, 96 with 31. We'll put that one in the books. Still trying to figure it out. That's real.
Swing and a miss. V-Mart is out of there to end the inning.
Good splitter.
Nico Goodrum gives the Tigers the lead. Boom, he hits his 10th of the year. 1-0 Detroit. catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Brought to you by Oakland University. Strike one on Dilson Herrera, leading things off here in the 5th inning. Tigers lead 1-0 on the Nico long ball. Big swing there, 0-2 on Herrera. Bottom 3 coming up for the Reds: Herrera, Dixon, Hamilton. Soft little looper into center field. It's going to drop. An 0-2 single for Dilson Herrera.
Ooh.
That hurts.
Yeah, well, there's a fine line between not, nibbling after you go 0-2 and going after him. And he goes after him right here, just out over the middle of the plate, and he actually jammed him. Not a lot you can do about that.
Here is Brandon Dixon now. That is the 4th hit for Cincinnati. They put together 2 doubles and a walk in the 4th, but did not score. Dixon, the right fielder, called up on July the 21st from AAA at Louisville. He was hitting .346. Got him played to pull.
Herrera over at first, no steals.
0-2.
See, this is what happens at first base every time. You see the first base coach coming up, always whispering. If something's on, they watch the signs together. They'll pinch you on the back of the arm. Some will do that. Some will verbally say it, like Mick Kelleher, the killer, used to say, "Hum baby." H for hit and run, or say it isn't so. Steal.
Nice.
First letter S.
Swing and a miss.
Good job there. Dixon goes down. Goes upstairs with the high heater. Makes a good pitch this time with 2 strikes. Throws it right by. Little quick pitch there. Slide step.
Boyd now with 4 strikeouts. He's gotten Dixon twice. Here is the speedy Billy Hamilton. How speedy, do you ask? Well, he's had 4 straight years of 50 or more stolen bases, and this guy is a highlight reel in center field.
He's got 22 so far this year, so you think he'll make it? 22 steals? Up to 50, right?
Yep. He's batting only .227, or was coming in. And it seems like every year at the deadline his name is often mentioned, but every single season he stays put. Trading deadline came and passed at 4 p.m. here this afternoon. Leonis Martin traded away to the Indians by the Tigers. That's flared toward right field, slicing foul.
You talk about players who seemingly have several opportunities. Billy Hamilton, one of them. They talk about he doesn't hit enough, and he's a decent to above average, certainly center fielder. He runs the base, puts a lot of pressure. I was with one of my teammates who used to always do that. Who was it? Always had to come in and win his job every year in the infield.
Let me think about this.
An old country boy, Tommy Brookins.
Oh, Brookie, yeah. Ooh, he chased up top there. Hamilton's out of there. Another strikeout. 5 of them now for Boyd. Well, as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game. Boyd now will face Jose Peraza. Two pop-ups, both to the shortstop. Ball 1 to Peraza, who's had himself a pretty good year.
In the leadoff slot this year, he's a .312 hitter. He has batted in several different spots in the Reds lineup.
Comes in at 290 with 5 home runs, so he's got a little bit of stock too, huh?
In there, a strike call. Seems that's the way baseball is these days now. More teams have a power guy at the top of their lineup that can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Used to be table setters, like high on base percentage, not that they don't.
Foul back. Yeah, used to have guys like Willie Wilson, Vince Coleman. They were leadoff guys, get on base, steal a bag. Now you got guys that can power the ball out of the ballpark.
Ricky Henderson. He's Willie Wilson. He'd run a double out. I swear he had to run sideways so he didn't fall over. He just fly.
Here's the 1-2. Instead, back to first, and in there is Herrera. Boyd Splits this year been much better at home. He has been sparkling here at Comerica, an ERA of 3.24. It's 2 runs per game higher on the road.
That's a fact.
Good pitcher's ballpark here with the expanse out in center field and in the gaps.
You're talking about how he's much better with James McCann too. 2.79 ERA with James, 5.48 with all other catchers. More home runs allowed. You and I were trying to figure out reasons why. He's obviously comfortable, trusts him. James knows Matt very well.
See, that is a big disparity there. Those numbers he just gave us with McCann and everyone else. So clearly these two work together extremely well.
I don't know if it's you know, it could be a coincidence, but it keeps happening. So you got to stick with him.
In the air to shallow right center. And Castellanos hauls it in. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Still 1-0 Tigers. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire Guy. And by Chevrolet, it's Chevy Truck Month. Bring on the new and hand down the old. Chevrolet, find new roads. Nico Goodrum with a home run for the Tigers, a solo shot in the 4th, and that has been it tonight offensively. It'll be Candelario to get things started now for the Tigers. And Jamer looks at a strike on the outer edge.
Homer Bailey's been tough. Has not been very good since he signed the new contract. Tonight, Tigers only one run on one hit by Nico, as you said.
He had retired 11 straight to start the game before Goodrum took him deep. Bailey's had a lot of injuries in his career. In fact, he's had 3 separate surgeries the last 3 seasons, including Tommy John.
He had a shoulder too, I believe.
Slice toward left field, foul ball. Jamer trying to go the other way. He popped up to third his first time up. It'll be interesting to see what kind of a second half Candelario has, because he was so good at the start of the year. Then he tailed off in the month of July. And hopefully August and September will bring a renewed Candelario.
Yeah, the big leagues, playing in the big leagues every day takes its toll. Candy hitting both sides earlier in the year, like you said. Way better against lefties than righties. So he's going to be challenged here off of Homer Bailey.
Earlier this year, Candelario was driving in a lot of runs the first 2 months of the season, but here in July, only 2 RBIs. He's going to try and shake that one off.
This part of the season, you know, it gets hot, and even playing in the rain and all the travel, it starts to catch up to you. I think that's probably some of what's gotten to Nick as well.
Didn't go. 3-2.
That bat becomes a log instead of a toothpick.
Huh.
It does. Just drags.
I believe it. The 3-2. Flared left side. It is slicing and foul. So based on that, would you ever go to a lighter bat later in the season? Is it as you got more tired and it got hotter?
Absolutely. Sure. You got to do it. Take a look right here. You just see the swing looks a little slower, a little longer. Looking for a little cheapy here. Boy, would I take that. You know, we were talking about Tram at Cooperstown a lot, as well as Jack, and we started coming up with nicknames, and we used to call Tram the Fiddler, because he'd fiddle one in like that. Ball would be fair. It'd be right on the line, I swear. I could never perfect that.
That's driven again toward left field, and foul.
And of course, he would always say it's a clean living. We know that was a lie.
Now, did they have any nicknames for you?
Here's the last swinger here on the outside. I mean, everything looks good, but you see how he's kind of casting around the ball instead of being off the barrel. It goes up by the trademark a little bit. I didn't hear that last question, by the way.
Did they have any nicknames for you?
Oh, yeah.
Any worth repeating?
No, you're going to have to do your research.
Okay, I will.
Some good, some bad. You talking about the home fans or the visiting fans?
Tram, would Tram have anything for you? Or Morris, or any of your
teammates?
teammates?
We'll have him on someday. You can.
Yeah, we'll ask him.
Darrell Evans had the McEnroe one. His candy goes down on strikes. Why would he call me McEnroe?
He called you McEnroe?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Third strikeout for Bailey.
When I'd argue a call or something, he'd say, McEnroe, get over here and sit down. Darrell Evans was there in Cooperstown, by the way. He was kind of team dad to us all. Brought us together, all of us youngsters that started in the late 70s to become a world championship team in '84, and that's a fair ball by Hicks, and the Tigers 2 up and 2 down.
So Bailey, after the home run to Goodrum, has retired 3 straight now, and here is McCann. Bailey has thrown 2 no-hitters in his career, and the way he started tonight, you started thinking, uh-oh, he retired 11 straight. Then the home run by Nico. No-hitters in 2012 against the Pirates, and then in 2013 against the Giants. So he threw him in consecutive seasons.
Well, here we look at Menard's big
Money encounter.
big money encounter. We're looking at Homer Bailey before he signed his 6-year extension in February 2014. Look at the starts. Look at the ERA 3.77. He's a pretty good pitcher, and since then, 6.36 clip, was whipped well above the 1.5 threshold you want to be below.
Yeah, he signed a monster long-term deal, but to be fair, he has been hurt a lot, as we've mentioned, so his numbers have really suffered because of that.
Yeah, that's true, but he just hasn't. You know, when you sign somebody to a long-term contract, you're hoping that everything clicks, and you know who shares the blame in that. Sometimes you have no control over it because the arm is not made in the shoulder and the elbow to do what it does as a pitcher. You know, maybe that couple games that you went over 110 pitches, maybe you came back on 4 days rest or instead of 5, or there's a lot of factors that go into the health of any given player on the team.
Here's the 3-0, and he walked him on 4 straight. First walk of the ball game for Bailey, and that'll bring up Iglesias.
I think he almost hit one out to the fence, actually in left field. Seeing it good. That was your pick, and Ram picked the stick. And he's been a good contributor in that game, hasn't he?
He really has, and he was a really good contributor in the 2-game series in Cincinnati. He was 5 for 8 against the Reds.
Not many negatives. He doesn't get those negative points like the big swingers.
Exactly. Or the errors defensively.
He did have one error. It's very unusual for him. So you get negatives for errors, strikeouts, double plays. What's the other one I'm missing?
There's a bender that misses. Errors, strikeouts,
Double plays.
double plays. That's it, right? That is it.
Yes, I covered them all.
Those are all the negatives. Whistled foul.
That net saved somebody down there again. That was a screamer.
Iglesias, a nice big gap out in left center field. Shoot one out there, driving a run.
Yeah, they seem to be throwing him away. Coming in this time.
Iggy stays alive. 1-2 the count.
Notice Barnhart right in there tight on him. There you can see the Suarez, Peraza, Herrera, and Votto. They're positioning for Iglesias. Tough guy to defend. Nobody's going to shift him.
Ground ball right side, gobbled up there by Herrera, and that'll end the inning. When we come back, Matt Shepard will check up with Dan Petrie, and we'll talk of Hall of Fame weekend, Cooperstown, coming up next.
on Trammell, and Jack Moore is being inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame. Dan Petrie very proud of his teammates and wished he could have been there. But what was your thought when you first heard they were getting in there?
Well, you know, I was asked that question before, and really the unusual thing was that my first thought was, how the heck are they going to keep Lou Whitaker out now with Alan Trammell going in and Jack? And Tram was so gracious to mention Lou in his speech and Lou being there and everything, so I don't see how they're going to keep him out now.
18-8 in 1984. We still remember that team fondly. What is your proudest moment with those teammates and your friends, and really, they're really your extended family, aren't they?
You know what, I got to tell you that this past couple of weeks, maybe month, showing all the highlights of Jack and Tram and all the things that they did, it's been very emotional for me just because of how good we were, how close we were, and just seeing them go in the Hall of Fame, that was very emotional. It means a lot as we start to get older, and so I really appreciated them, and it just brought back so many great memories, and I can't wait to see both of them here coming up when their numbers are retired in August.
We love seeing you around for sure. You're always a gentleman. You're a great representation of the Tigers. Thanks, Dan. Great to see you, bud.
Thank you, Matt, and keep Matt Boyd going.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. He was an all-star, of course, in 1985. The year before you guys won the World Series, Kirk Gibson, he led the American League with 38 starts. Dan Petrie, durable and a winner.
Shep, ask him what his nickname was.
Gibby wants to know what your nickname was. I thought it was Peaches, but maybe I'm wrong.
That was one of them.
He probably had some nickname for me, and I think we're going to try to play golf.
It's a family show, remember that, Peach?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to.
Frankie.
I can't remember.
Yeah, Frankie, tell
probably
him.
some kind of goofy thing. I don't know. Oh, no, I know. I remember what it was. Frank.
How do you get that? Gibby's rolling right now.
I know. I had a stiff neck one time in New York, slept on it wrong or something like that, and I couldn't move, so Frankenstein, so he just shortened it to Frank.
You know, Gibby, Brookins, Lynn Jones all rented a house. Do you think that house is still standing in Cooperstown?
Yeah, I'm sure, and it was probably a great time, and it's probably best that I did miss it.
He looks a little fresher, maybe, than you did the following morning, Gibby. Back to you guys.
Did you really nickname him Frank?
Yeah, it was temporary. He had a stiff neck, so me being showing him some sympathy, named him Frankie.
Nice. Joey Votto, the batter here. 2-2 the count, one gone.
Look at Votto. He just moved up in the box.
Now 3-2 on Votto.
Now Votto was starting. He started back here, and then he was creeping up here right during the at bat. See if he does it again. Staying still.
Launching this one in the air to right field. Castellanos has room. 2 outs. Hey, don't miss a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to celebrate the Hall of Fame induction and the number of retirements of Tigers greats Jack Morris and Alan Trammell. It's a special celebration dinner on Thursday, August 9th at the Motor City Casino Hotel. Ticket packages include a private meet and greet and a whole lot more. Tickets are on sale now at tigers.com/HOF dinner.
Too scared me there. You know, serious, you get together with your own teammates, and those guys are awesome, and I'm sure a lot of the players are coming back that I've heard to this function, and you hear little things that I think you'll be amused by. We had a lot of fun on and off the field, and you know, just like I called Peaches Frank, you know, it's just little goofy funny things, and of course when you win a World Series you actually get to see grown men cry.
You do indeed, and I was at the leadoff party this year when it was you, it was Tram and Jack doing that round table, and this I'm sure is going to be as good or even better. I mean, this is going to be awesome. That's rolled toward third base and scooped up there by Jamer, who throws him out. 1-2-3 for Matt Boyd in the 6th. Jeep at the trade deadline. In the moments leading up to the trade deadline, there were a flurry of deals, and Rod, the Chris Archer trade from Tampa Bay to Pittsburgh is probably the most notable one, and it's got to be tough to be a Rays fan, don't you think?
Absolutely tough to be a Rays fan, but I absolutely love the Chris Archer deal. When you start talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates, they got Archer. He's controllable for the next 3 years, and that contract is awfully friendly, and he's got tremendous stuff. They traded their ace a year ago, Garrett Cole, to the Houston Astros. Now they got an ace back in return in Chris Archer.
They got two really good prospects, did the Rays, from Pittsburgh. And now we're on the other side of the deadline. Everybody can breathe a little bit more. Mario, get it?
Well, kind of, because Gibby, we typically see the deals are still made in the month of August. You just have to clear waivers for them, so the non-waiver deadline is come and gone. But how much do you guys really exhale here in the month of August?
Well, everybody will get pushed through. I think they can put revocable waivers on players coming up after the wire deadline. And so that means we could put, pick a guy, Jacoby Jones on. He could get claimed. We could try and make a deal, or we could pull him back. Okay. So I think those are called revocable waivers. So you got a guy with a big contract, you could probably get him through for sure, because if you take him, you take the contract. So there are ways. It used to be in the olden days everybody would get through. That's not the case anymore. And there's still some discussions and negotiations. I like the Pittsburgh deal as well. They're 7 games back right now. That team's sneaky. They've been there before. I think Chris Archer can really help them out.
Gerber strikes out to start things off in the 6th.
Mike Gerber here, I know, is excited. His first really bad. That's a pretty nasty sinker right there. Split finger. Look at it, goes straight down. This is his best pitch. Well out in front. Got to try and keep your bat in the zone a long time to hit that pitch or foul it off.
I was thinking back to a deal where Chicago got Alex Rios from the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays had him at that time. He had a huge contract, and Chicago, I think, was just trying to block him from going somewhere else. And Toronto said, all right, he's yours, and they had to take the contract on.
And many people criticize that. I mean, in the end, was it a good deal? Was it a bad deal? Was it a wash? The worst one I remember was Randy Myers that Kevin Towers did over there in San Diego. They picked him up, and he was trying to block, and they had him, and he had a terrible, terrible career from that point on. But those things can happen. There's a lot of days. Was it August 31st? Is the playoff? Oh, what a play!
That's a great play there by the second baseman Herrera. Tumbling and throwing out Jones.
I believe August 31st is the playoff deadline. You got to be on the team by then. Look right there. Good short hop. The ball, that was in slow motion. It was a little hotter in real life. I'll check on those dates and make sure tomorrow that
I believe you have to be in the roster before September 1st to be eligible for postseason. And of course, Verlander was traded August 31st last year after going through waivers, so deals could still be made, but probably not at the flurry we had toward the end of the July trading deadline. Pirates all of a sudden became buyers because they ripped off like 11 straight wins, and suddenly they were thrust into the chase.
Yeah, Clint Hurdle does a very good job. He knows how to work within the system. He's bought into, I guess, the new era long ago.
Into right field, sinking, and caught on the run there by Dixon to end the inning. 1-2-3, go the Tigers. celebration is Saturday, August 11th. Tigers take on the Twins at 6:10 p.m. First 10,000 fans 21 and older receive a free Fiesta Tigres hat courtesy of Miller Lite. Go to tigers.com for more information. Fiesta Tigres. Here is Scooter Gennett to lead off the 7th. He'll pull this one on the ground at first, and right there is Hicks. And one pitch, one gone.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch. 93 is the high, 78 is the low. Really settled in nicely. 80 pitches through 6 1/3.
Really, the only inning in which he had to worry a bit was the inning in which they loaded the bases. 2 doubles, a walk. They failed to score a run, though.
Yep, held up. Nick Castellanos played it cleanly off the wall. Got it into the infield quickly, and they shut her down.
You know, we've talked oftentimes, Gibby, about how guys that work slowly and deliberately sometimes don't receive the best defense behind them. But these two starters tonight, Bailey and Boyd, have both worked at a crisp pace.
They have, and they've gotten some quick outs, quick ground ball outs. That's always key in getting you deep into a game. We were talking to Gardy about that in his office today. He's just talking about how he remembers that players don't like standing around out there.
Right to the center fielder Jones, 2 gone. That'll bring up Dilson Herrera. Boyd's pitch count right now at 84.
Just looking at the Tiger 3 that may pitch here: Alex Wilson, Joe Jimenez, and Shane Green. As are the next, maybe you'll get a lefty in there, but they're going to see through this. There's gotten us through 7 2/3, or 6 2/3. I'm sorry.
I wanted to look up. We do not have a complete game this year. The Tiger staff still looking for their first complete game.
106 is high this year in pitches for a game. Matt Boyd.
1-2 on Dilson Herrera. Tigers have only 1 hit against Homer Bailey, and that is a home run by Nico Goodrum, and they lead 1-0. Nico hit a ball better than 400 feet to right center. Now the 1-2. Oh, got him looking, struck him out to end the inning. 6 strikeouts for Boyd. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. The Miller Lite hold true moment. How about Nico Goodrum?
Bang.
Over 400 feet back in the fourth inning, a 2-out solo shot off Homer Bailey, and that is it for this game. It's 1-0 Tigers. Bailey had retired 11 straight to start the ball game, and then Nico went deep. Might as well do it again. Bailey throws a strike.
Nico Goodrum, 12-34 interleague. He likes it. 6 extra base hits with 5 BI. That's a nasty little splitter in there. That was nasty.
Homer Bailey right now has had 73 pitches. Just off the plate, 1-2. He was drafted by the Reds a while ago. 2004 was their first round pick, 7th overall. He was a high schooler out of LaGrange, Texas. 2-2. He had some ridiculous numbers in high school. Was 41-4.
Wow.
ERA career of under 1. And he pitched his high school team to a couple of Texas state titles. Here's the 2-2. Just got a piece.
That was a good job of getting a piece there. He's basically throwing fastball split. Almost 2-pitch pitching.
Goodrum, then Martinez and Candelario here in the Tiger 7th. Tigers have not really done all that well in interleague play, and that's really kind of a departure. They've always been a good interleague team, but this year just 1-9 against the National League.
They have.
Now Bailey again with the 2-2. Conversely, the Reds have done well. They're 10-3 against the American League, and they've won 6 straight against the junior circuits.
Good catch here. Keep your eyes on the ball.
Snow cone.
That's great balance. Great concentration. You like snow cones?
Love them.
What flavor?
Grape.
Strawberry.
Followed closely by cherry.
What was that?
Followed closely by cherry.
Watermelon.
Ooh, watermelon's good. Yeah, let me amend that. Grape, then watermelon, then cherry.
Let me amend mine to be the same. Good and bad here.
The 3-2. Ripped and caught at first base on a leap by Votto.
Ooh, got a splitter that he hung in a bullet.
That was going to be a double.
Just one thing I wanted to ask Alavila about, because I know they have a system the way we talked about the way they grade at bats. And this at bat would be graded favorably. This is not an out. So when you're evaluating your players, that may have equal value. I don't know this. I'm going to ask someday. As much as a little dribbler through the like a grounder, I think you'd rather see him hit the ball that way, don't you?
Absolutely. That was 97 miles an hour off the bat.
With no angle though.
Well, here's a guy that's been hitting some line drives recently, although he's 0 for 2 in this one. He hit a ball hard his first time up.
You do have a shift on. You can notice why there. 62% from second base over to the first base line. Victor, he's a master at figuring out what's going to go on, when to take a pitch, when to offer. I'm sure that he has a good inclination of what's coming. A good percentage of the time, maybe he's even picking up tips. By that I mean something a pitcher may do to tip off what he's going to throw.
Were you good at that?
By the end of my career, I was very good at it.
Yep.
You know, you're always trying to convince people. Some like it, some don't, but when your bat starts to slow down, it's good to have an idea.
Here's the 2-1. 2-2 on Martinez.
Well, I was talking about 2-pitch usage. He's got the slider and the splitter and the curveball. You see the slider's the big pitch. It's kind of hard to tell. The slider's going straight down. The splitter looks like a slider sometimes. But I think some of those curveballs might be splitters because they really go. He's got the same arm motion on most of his pitches. Kind of hard to tell.
Vimar right now enjoying a 6-game hitting streak. Fly ball left field, not deep. Irvin coming in. 2 away in the Tigers' 7th. The Tigers take on these Reds tomorrow at 1:10. Enjoy great savings with the weekday value pack. 4 tickets, hot dogs, chips, and sodas for as little as $20 per person. Go to tigers.com/value and take advantage of the weekday value pack. Redlegs in town tomorrow, and then the Tigers have an off day Thursday as they jet out west. They'll be in Oakland, they'll be in Anaheim.
San Fran.
There's a strike called on Jamer.
Gonna go down to take the cable car and all.
Oh yeah, down
like
to the
that?
wharf. Yeah.
What's the must not miss spot for you down there?
Buena Vista.
I would agree. Wow, we actually have something in common.
No, it's kind of
scary.
It's a little unnerving. 0-2 now on Candelario.
Get some information in my ear I'm not going to repeat.
No, don't do that. Buena Vista, by the way, we should explain, is a nice little area down by the wharf. It's a little corner bar that serves Irish coffees.
It's right by where the cable car starts too, so you can't miss it. If you're chilly and you want to warm up for the ride up the cable car up the hill, then you stop in there. It's a historic place. Saw a painting about the Buena Vista just the other day at a house. What do they call, estate sale? Pretty
Really?
cool. Yeah. In Neiman.
Did you buy it?
No, not even there quick enough. You got to get there about 4 hours early.
The 1-2. Jamer with a strikeout and a pop-up.
Good time for the Tigers to get an insurance run here. Bailey and Boyd both throwing gems. Can they go all the way? That was one of the things that came up in Cooperstown, was Jack's 10-inning complete game in the World Series.
Yeah.
How about that? Wouldn't come out of the game. Against John Smoltz. So we got Boyd against Bailey here for a preview of no extra innings today. Just a clean win in regulation.
That would be nice. Morris, by the way, threw more complete games in the decade of the 80s than anybody in baseball.
150 something, 155.
Yeah. Swinging a miss. Candy is out of there, and it's a 1-2-3 for Bailey. 5 strikeouts for Homer. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
talking about throwing to both sides of the plate. He got the good fastball. Look how he gets it in right here. See how it goes off the trademark? Then he brings the hands in off the end. Now he's working on the other side and elevates. Doing it all, moving his fastball around. The slider's been good too. Got Joey Votto right there. Look at that slow motion. Look at the spin. Threw it off the plate, backdoor. Got that on Suarez. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts so far for Matt Boyd.
And Boyd goes back to work now here in the 8th inning and delivers to Brandon Dixon. 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Reds in a 1-0 game. The Tigers still have only 1 hit tonight, and fortunately it was a home run. 2-0 now on Dixon. Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. We want to look at Boyd and Bailey, and boy, they've pretty much been pitch for pitch. Boyd 6 punch outs, Bailey 5. Their pitch counts pretty much identical. It's been a well pitched ball game tonight on both ends. 2-0 is hit hard right to the shortstop. Iglesias flipping to first for the out.
Wow.
He just continues to just get it done.
I mean, this is a good stop, but the throw, you could try and stage this with everybody on the field. He may be the only guy who could do it that efficiently, that quickly. He dives to his right. He pops out his glove and he just throws it from a knee on the line right over there. Perfect. To John Hicks.
You know, not only the accuracy there, but the arm strength as well. It's just amazing. Great play, 1 gone. It's fouled back out of play. Got to keep this guy off. Billy Hamilton, don't want him getting on because he will run.
Now he's throwing 3 breaking balls this inning. They've all been lost. He's losing his feel for it. Gardy's going to have a quick hook if somebody gets on.
Swing and a miss. How about Iglesias recently, some of the defense he's been playing?
Unbelievable. Bad hop there. Look at he bounced. This is one over here. Again, throwing away from himself. Two and 2 to Billy Hamilton.
If you're a Tigers starting pitcher and you see a ball hit to the left side of the infield, you know Iglesias got your back.
You know he's got it.
Here's the 2-2. Full count now, 3-2 on Hamilton. Got action.
Big Joe. You're going to see fastballs here, I got to believe, because he seems to have a better feel for it. Think about throwing Hamilton inside. You got third baseman Candy is on the line, and you're going to have to jam him. You got to get in on it quick. Going to come in on him. Spoiled it. There you see Candy. He's over here in the line. Doesn't want a double down there. He knows they're throwing him in, so you got to take that away. To his left should be a single only. So kind of playing the odds right here. Concede a single, not an extra base hit.
That was the 8th pitch in this bat.
Nick, as always, in very shallow here. Centers maybe a little shorter than normal, but that's because of the scouting report. Certainly don't want it to get over Nick's head.
Pulled on the ground, foul.
Maybe looking for a little backdoor slider. I know he'd like to throw it. He's got 3 strikeouts on it.
This will be the 10th pitch in this at bat on the way.
Going in there again. Ooh, that hurt. You got meat right there. That's right off the bicep. You can't look at this thing, it's hit him right in the eye, right in the bicep. That's off that pad that almost covers your shoulder. Stinger. Well, if he could throw that slider to James, he knows he can throw the fastball for a strike, so he's sticking with it. Telling him to shake.
Swing and a miss. He finally dusted him. Down he goes. That is 7 strikeouts now for Boyd. 11 straight have gone down.
Look at that little two-seamer right there. Hamilton been looking inside. He kept pounding him in. Finally get one up and away. And he's in swing mode for the 7th strikeout of Matt Boyd tonight.
Top of the order now, Peraza.
Now, if you're Cincinnati, you're hoping you can get him out of the game because he's pitching that well. He's got the numbers so far.
Popped up. Shallow right center. Castellanos calling. Matt Boyd, what a job tonight. He's retired 12 in a row.
104 pitches.
Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Boyd and Bailey, they have been in command tonight. It is 1-0. Tigers have the lead. Bailey has allowed just one hit, the home run by Goodrum, and Boyd has shut them out 105 pitches. 8 innings, 7 punch-outs. What a night for Boyd.
Great night. Now let's make it a great night for the Tigers.
Hicks takes ball 2 outside.
Homer Bailey you see Shane Green right there. He's getting ready to come in and pick up Matt Boyd. And Homer Bailey, before his injuries, he was a fireballer, man. He had big, hard angled fastball, 95 plus. But now he's more of a finesse pitcher. Really moved it around. He's got the slider and the splitter working.
Bailey is gaining on 100. He's thrown 94 pitches tonight, and he's gone 3-0 now on Hicks. In there, a strike, 3-1.
Well, I like that 3-0 swing. I don't know if Hicksy had the green light or not. You know it's going to be straight.
3-2. Activity for the Reds. Peralta and Lorenzen. Just foul outside of the bag.
You can see Hicksy protecting against that slider and that split. Bailey continues to feed him 95-mile-an-hour fastballs out over the plate. But if you get 2 strikes, you have to make an adjustment. You can't just crawl out there and overswing and pull off the ball, only for it to be an off-speed pitch. Got to stay alive.
Up the middle and into center field, out of the reach of Peraza, and a leadoff single for Hicks. Fans be a part of history when the Tigers retire the number of 2018 Hall of Fame inductee Jack Morris prior to the Sunday, August 12th game. It'll be against the Minnesota Twins. The outfield ceremony begins at 12:15, and the first 10,000 fans receive a replica Jack Morris jersey. If you'd like tickets, go to tigers.com. Be on hand to honor Jack.
You see that last pitch there? Jack got a pretty nasty split himself. You always wonder how past players would fare in today's game. Do you think it's an even or is it different?
I don't know. That's a great question. And it's a hard one to answer. There's a swing and a miss. You know, I think there are certain players that can play in any era. But the differences in the game today, today's players will tell you, well, the guys, you know, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s didn't have to face guys coming out of the bullpen throwing 100 miles an hour.
That's what they say?
That's what a lot of them will say, and say that, you know, it's much more specialized now. There's a popped up bunt, and it's caught on the run by Suarez. Here is a Ram pick the stick update. Let's see what's happening tonight. What do you got, Gibby?
Well, who got Shep? You got Nico. You got a -1 down there with Rod, and where am I at? I got 0. So been a lot of backpedaling lately on this game. Somehow the Tigers have struggled a little bit.
The way I'm going to 0 looks pretty good.
You don't want to go backwards for sure.
Here is Iglesias now with 1 on, 1 out.
Iggy almost had one out of the park first at bat. We'll take it. Insurance.
That'll bend inside, and we bring in Matt Shepard.
I feel good when my Ram picked the stick. I was talking with Jose Iglesias when he came in after that play. He kind of winked at me, and I said, that is unbelievable, man. He said, thanks a lot. And then he made a hand motion, almost like a wiggling fish. It was tailing on him a little bit, guys. That's the reason he dropped it, and then was so great on that accurate throw. And then it's Dave Clark's heading out to the third base coach's box, and I said, how many times have we seen that? It's incredible. He goes, man, he is something else, isn't he? And I love watching him play, and I know you guys do too. Pretty cool.
Well, it's the accuracy and the arm strike. It's just unbelievable.
It's so effortless, guys.
Yeah, plus that glove he's got on is small. I mean, we can look at these middle infielders. It's a small glove. And Iglesias has a small glove. It's because he got good hands.
What do you think it is? 11 1/4?
I'm not sure, but that's probably a pretty good guess. Well, the outfielders are what, 12 1/2? Is that
12
the
1/2?
That's
Yeah.
the max.
Yeah.
And I know he's got great hands. It's always in the pocket.
1 and 1 on Iglesias.
Looks like Bailey's got a little hamstring thing going. I see him stretching his hammy out. He just did it again. I'd like Iggy. I think they worked on it more, that he could be a good hit and run guy because he's got such great back control.
And that's why I've always felt that he would be a really good number 2 hitter in a lineup, but he has felt most comfortable at the bottom part of the lineup. When you had guys that you thought slotted in a different spot but felt comfortable and were performing, say, lower in the lineup, did you just leave it alone?
Oh yeah, I think Iglesias likes being down there where he's at right now. He comes up with a lot of opportunities. So yeah, absolutely. He's got 41 RBI, 4 home run coming into tonight.
Bailey with the 1-2. Didn't go.
If he gets to 3-2, I think you've got to send Hicks. And the fact that the Reds are even thrown over to first base with John Hicks, who's no stolen bases, caught once, is, you know, they're thinking he's going to hit and run here. He's going to give somebody a move, and he wants to keep him close.
Two and two, the count stays on Iglesias. On the ground to the shortstop. They'll fire to second. One relay, not in time.
Oh, he almost called him out, but he was safe. You see that? He was cocking that right hand. Iggy scooted down there, though. Stays with the fastball to his right, and Iggy hustling all the way. Guess he just, that was my imagination.
So we'll get a meeting on the mound, and as they talk it over, here's the upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Sal Romano, who threw well against the Tigers earlier this year, facing Mike Fiers, who is still a Tiger.
He's got that 5.04 ERA, 6-8. Tigers owe him, and Mike Fiers has been the most consistent pitcher for the Tigers as of late. Rumored to be traded, but he's starting tomorrow. That was not true.
Tigers, had he been traded, probably would have had to go on with a bullpen day tomorrow.
Blaine Hardy, maybe. What do you get on? I know you check the rumors and stuff. What do you get on all that on trade deadline? You like it? All the rumors that might happen?
Yeah, I think it's cool. Happen? But you know, there are times when things are rumored that don't even come close to coming to fruition. So it is a little bit frustrating at times. But that's the fun part of baseball. You know, you got all these reporters trying to outdo each other and be the first to report something, and sometimes, most times, it's accurate.
I think sometimes they throw rumors out there to try and motivate somebody else to up the ante. That's one of the
gamesmanship.
Oh yeah, good gamesmanship.
Gerber is up there with 2 outs. He'll shoot one to left field. That is going to drop. Fair ball, go to the corner. Here comes Iglesias to third. They're going to send him home. And the throw to the plate, not in time. Mike Gerber has his first major league hit, and it drives in a run.
These guys going to fake throw it in the stands. Mike Gerber gets a big hit for the Tigers. We were asking for insurance. Look at the inside outset. Down in the corner, misplayed by Philip Irvin down there. You go in the corner, it's hard. Actually, he played it pretty good, but overthrew the cutoff man, and that's Iggy's score.
There's a ground ball foul off the bat of Jacoby Jones.
Think he's fired up?
That'll go on the mantle. First major league hit, produces his first major league RBI. So congratulations to Mike Gerber, who makes it a 2-0 game here in the 8th.
Iglesias did a good job around the bases.
In there, a strike called on Jones, 0-2.
Philip Irvin, the left fielder for Cincy, actually I thought he must have bobbled it, but he actually made a great play. Just overthrew that first cutoff man, and that was all the Tigers needed to get the run.
Now Bailey with the 0-2. Got him, strike three. Jones caught looking to end the inning. Tigers get a huge run in the first big league hit for Mike Gerber. A double to left. Scoring Iglesias. 2-0 Tigers.
#1-800-CALL-SAM update will be here for Tigers Live postgame. It will be most interesting, provided everything goes as planned. It's been an emotional day here at the ballpark, and to win a game like this would ramp it up that much more, I think.
Matthew Boyd was sensational here today, and Jacoby Jones made the play of the game, and Nico Goodrum had one big, huge hit real early in this contest. But I just love the energy that they played with here today against Cincinnati Reds, who were a very hot team in the National League.
And Mike Gerber picked a pretty good opportunity for his first major league hit. You'll hear from Boyd, you'll hear from Mike Gerber, Ron Gartenhire as well on Tigers Live immediately after the conclusion of this one. But now for its conclusion, Mario.
All right, Keats, thank you. Let's finish this one off in a wall-side windows pitching change. Here is Shane Green.
Well, Greeny 21 of 24 in the saves. He's done a good job for the Tigers, ranks right in the middle of the pack. Loves save situations. Throws the ball much better in the save. Phillip Ervin leads it off at a double in the fourth.
The Reds here in the ninth inning have 2, 3, and 4, so it's going to be Votto to follow, and then Suarez. If anybody gets on, Scooter Gennett.
Tigers defense right there, just about straight up, the old-fashioned way.
Strike called now, 1-2 on Phillip Ervin. 8 scoreless from Matthew Boyd, who gave up only 4 hits and fanned a total of 7. He retired 12 straight at the end of his start tonight. It'll dive low and away, 2-2.
I was talking about Shane Green. Look at this. Save opportunities, 1.85 ERA. Non-save opportunities, 6.86. Numbers favor him in this situation and the Tigers.
Driven toward right field and hit well. Castellanos on the run, not going to get there. It's up against the wall. It's going to be extra bases. Ervin rounding the bag is going for 3, and he is in there with a sliding triple, and the Reds get the leadoff man on.
First career triple for Phillip Ervin. Got the fastball to right center. That's where this insurance run comes in. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, outer third, and it kind of stays up tight right there. So it's a guaranteed triple. You just got to make sure you hit that cutoff man so it's nothing more. 101.7
on the velocity. the exit velocity.
He means nothing. Don't even worry about him. Get this guy at the plate. He's the most important guy.
And Votto looks at a strike. Joey Votto in this ball game, a double and 3 at bats. The Reds had their best scoring chance in the 4th when Irvin doubled and then Votto doubled, but Irvin did not get a good jump and had to stay at 3rd. The 0-1.
Looking at the outfielders right now, you got to think you're going to deepen up a little bit, which they have, but if you deepen up too far, you know, the little jam shots can fall in. So you got to really pay attention where Shane Green is going to pitch, where the batter might hit it. But they are deep.
The Reds tonight with 3 doubles and now a triple.
Votto's thinking about going yard. Got to make good pitch. Nothing he can elevate.
Now 2-2 on Joey Votto.
You're the Tigers. You're taken out for a run right here. Cincinnati has 3 outs left. You just want to start plucking them off the board.
Now the 2-2. Lined up the middle and caught. Iglesias had him played nicely. Took an RBI away, 1 gone.
A lot of defensive plays being made up the middle. Tigers in perfect position. It's a bullet right to Egley.
One away. We'll get a little powwow on the mound now with Eugenio Suarez coming up. Tune in tomorrow afternoon. The Tigers wrap up their series with the Reds. All your game coverage begins with Tigers Live at noon right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
6 MVRs.
So now Suarez, who doubled in the 2nd, 1 for 3. That'll dive in, but low.
Got underneath the slider right there. You got to watch that pitch.
Three defenders to the left of second base. Little looper into right field. There is Castellanos. He will make the catch. Runner tagging, coming home. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time.
Got his hand on the plate. Good throw, Nick.
Sac fly RBI for Suarez to make it a 2-1 ball game, but there are 2 outs now.
We'll take it. Change that out. They got 1 out left. Nick made sure he caught it. Yeah, it was a pretty good throw. Didn't get him though.
So here is Scooter Jeanette. Crowd coming alive now. Now McCann will take it on the mound visit.
There goes another MVR.
So Green now 1 out away from nailing this one shut. Jeanette tonight with a walk. 0 for 2. Ball one.
Going to keep the ball away. Jeanette 17 home runs, probably most of them to the pull side.
2-0. Tucker Barnhart is waiting on deck. Jeanette 67 driven in to go with his 17 long balls. He is a 300 hitter. 317 to be exact.
Nice sinker. Right on the plate here, real low.
2-1. Can't really hurt you out there.
Good explosive finish. He throws this ball good. Watch it just take off. Zoop. Careful with the slider. I just stick with that fastball right there. Put it on the plate.
Strike call, 2-2.
Little cutter right there. Previous pitch off the plate, that one on the backside.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And the Tigers win game one of the series. 2-1 your final score. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. John Keating, Rod Allen standing by with Tigers Live postgame.
In about 2 hours and 15 minutes, the Tigers wrap this one up. Matthew Boyd has now allowed just 3 runs over his last 3 starts. He was terrific tonight. You'll hear from him coming up. Mike Gerber had a night he'll never forget. He'll be along with us as well. And the defensive play of the night was a heave from center field. Rod Allen and Tigers Live with me in a moment.